So when I played here, I had my ankles taped before every practice. In high school, I had my ankles spatted. I felt like it was more stable to have it spatted.
Well, basically you have your tibia and fibula that come down and that make up the lower leg that meets up with the talus and the midfoot. And then basically you have your main supporting tendons on the outside and on the inside of the ankle. Typically you look at your anterior talofibular ligament, your calcaneofibular ligament, and your posterior talofibular ligament. And the most common, mostly sprained, is that anterior talofib ligament. On the inside you got the deltoid, and then on the, of course, the back of your Achilles tendon. So traditional wrapping is obviously first thought of when someone goes into play sports and they're trying to prevent some sort of ankle injury. From where we pull the tape and go over across the ankle, it's helping support that lateral side of that ankle from rolling over. The deltoid ligament on the inside of the ankle is very dense, very thick, and it's very broad, so it gives a much better support. I've heard multiple resources say if you really tear the inside of that deltoid ligament, a lot of times you get some avulsion fractures, so bone. So it's very stable on the inside. On the outside, you got your three separate ligaments there. So that anterior talofibular ligament is the most commonly torn because in a resting position our foot kind of hangs down and in. So if we jump, we come down, we roll on that, and it's commonly just rolled over the top as we move laterally. And of course it's not always 100% stable, and a lot of times if you do roll it pretty good, the tape's not going to hold very all that well. If we can get that tape adhered to the skin rather than do a lot of pre-wrap or sock or a lot of hair, it tends to provide a little bit better support. It depends on what position you play too. You know, if I'm thinking someone on the line or like a linebacker or something that may not need all that range of motion, but to go after and take a beating every day and hold that ankle in place, that might be more so. A personal standpoint, when I played cornerback and wide receiver, I had it done once because it was a cool thing to do, and I didn't like it at all because in fact I felt slower with it on, less agile, so that was more of a personal thing. There hasn't been any significant evidence that I've seen in research. I've seen that actually limits it or makes it even better. I would assume that it'll limit it. And they've done more like straight ahead running and a lot of diagonals, and they've seen some limitations, I think, with that. So the most, yeah, other than those D1 athletes thinking, other than being cool and having it on there, if they really have had a lot of ankle issues, it might help them out. But I'm guessing they're probably doing it because it might be kind of the cool thing to do. So.